After my daughter-in-law betrayed me with my husband, I revealed a shocking truth. They say the worst kind of betrayal doesn't come from your enemies. It comes from the people you share your Sunday roast with. It comes from the people who hold your hand at funerals and toast you at weddings. My name is Margaret. I'm 54 years old. I have built a life that from the outside looked like a magazine cover. A successful interior design firm, a paid-off, sprawling estate, a handsome husband of 25 years, and a son, Leo, who was my pride and joy. But 6 months ago, I took a sledgehammer to that perfect life. I didn't just break it, I pulverized it into dust. Because I found out that the two people I was supposed to trust the most, my husband, Robert, and my daughter-in-law, Chloe, were rotting my family from the inside out. And the truth I revealed? Let's just say it didn't just end a marriage. It destroyed a bloodline. It started when Leo brought Chloe home 3 years ago. She was 24, beautiful in that terrifying, flawless way. Perfect skin, bright blue eyes, a laugh that sounded like wind chimes. Leo, my sweet, hard-working, slightly naive boy, was head over heels. I tried to like her, I really did. But my intuition, that gut feeling that has saved my business a dozen times, was screaming. There was something performative about her. The way she clung to Leo felt possessive, not affectionate. But Robert was charmed instantly. "Oh, give her a break, Margot," he'd say, pouring himself another scotch. "She's young. She brings energy into this old house." When they got married, I paid for the wedding. $80,000. It was Chloe's dream wedding, a fairy tale. I remember watching Robert dance with her during the father-daughter dance. Her own father wasn't in the picture. He held her a little too close. His hand was a little too low on her back. I dismissed it. "You're being a jealous old woman," I told myself. "That's your daughter-in-law. That's your husband. Don't be disgusting." But the red flags kept piling up. Leo worked long hours at the architectural firm. Chloe was an aspiring influencer, which meant she spent a lot of time at home creating content. And Robert had retired early, on my dime, might I add. He spent a lot of time fixing things at Leo and Chloe's house, which was only 20 minutes away. "The sink is leaking again," Chloe would say on the phone, her voice breathy. "I'll head over and take a look," Robert would volunteer, jumping up from the couch with a vigor I hadn't seen in years. The day my world ended was a Tuesday. I was supposed to be in Chicago for a design conference, but my flight got canceled due to a storm, and the next one wasn't until the following morning. I decided to drive back home and surprise Robert. We could order takeout, watch a movie, a rare night in. I pulled into the driveway. Robert's car was there, but there was another car parked next to it, Chloe's white Mercedes. My heart didn't sink. It stopped. Maybe she's just visiting, I thought. Maybe she needed help with something. I walked to the front door. It was unlocked. The house was silent. Too silent. I walked toward the living room. Empty. Kitchen. Empty. Then I heard it. A laugh. It came from the master bedroom. My bedroom. I walked up the stairs. My legs felt like lead. The hallway seemed to stretch for miles. The door was ajar, just an inch. I pushed it open. I won't describe the graphic details. I don't need to. You can imagine the horror of seeing your husband of 25 years in bed with the woman who promised to love and cherish your son. It was the intimacy that killed me. It wasn't just sex. They were talking. "He's so boring," Chloe was saying, tracing a finger down Robert's chest. "Leo is he's a child compared to you, Rob. He doesn't know how to handle a woman like me. You deserve better, baby." My husband, the man who kissed me goodbye that morning. "Once Margot's business deal goes through next month, we'll have more cash. We can figure something out." I backed away. I didn't scream. I didn't barge in like a banshee. I walked back down the stairs silently. I walked out the front door, and then I drove to a hotel. I threw up in the hotel bathroom for an hour. Then I washed my face. I looked at myself in the mirror. The crying woman was gone. The business owner was back. They weren't just cheating. They were planning to use my money, my hard-earned money, to fund their exit strategy. "Okay," I whispered to the empty room. "You want a war? I'll give you a nuclear winter." For 3 weeks, I played the role of the oblivious wife. It was the hardest acting gig of my life. I let Robert kiss me on the cheek. I smiled at Chloe when she came over for Sunday dinner. I watched them exchange secret glances across the roast beef, thinking they were so clever. Every time I saw them look at each other, I added another 0 to the mental bill they were going to pay. I hired a private investigator, not to find out if they were cheating, I already knew that, but to find out how long. The report came back a week later. It was a thick binder. They had been sleeping together since before the wedding. Since before the wedding. When Leo was standing at the altar waiting for his bride, she had already been with his father. But then the PI gave me something else, the shocking truth I mentioned earlier. He handed me a medical file. He said, "Chloe visited an OBGYN last week. She's pregnant. 8 weeks. I did the math. Leo had been away on a business trip for a month around that time. He had only been back for 2 weeks. The baby wasn't Leo's. And considering how active Robert and Chloe were, well, then came the financial audit. Robert thought he was smart. He managed our household accounts, but the money came from me. He had been siphoning funds, slowly, moving money into an account under Chloe's maiden name. Consulting fees, he labeled it, $50,000 over the last year. I had enough. Leo's 30th birthday was coming up. We were hosting a big dinner party, friends, family, business partners. It was the perfect stage. The night of the party, the house looked beautiful. Candles, flowers, expensive wine. Chloe looked radiant in a tight green dress. She was glowing. She kept touching her stomach. I knew what was coming. She was planning to announce the pregnancy tonight. She wanted to trap Leo forever with a baby that wasn't his. We sat down to eat. Robert gave a toast to Leo. "To my son," he said, smiling that fake, charming smile. "A good man, a hard worker." Chloe stood up next. She clinked her glass. "I have a special gift for Leo," she said, blushing. She looked at Robert, then at Leo. "Actually, a gift for the whole family. Leo, you're going to be a daddy." The table erupted. Leo jumped up, tears in his eyes. He hugged her. "Oh my God, Chloe, really?" Robert acted surprised. "A grandbaby! Margot, look at that! We're going to be grandparents." I stayed seated. I took a slow sip of my wine. "Sit down, Leo," I said. My voice wasn't loud, but it cut through the air like a razor blade. The room went quiet. "Mom?" Leo asked, confused. "Aren't you happy?" "I would be," I said, looking directly at Chloe, "if the baby was yours." Chloe's smile faltered. What are you talking about, Margaret? Of course it's Leo's." "Is it?" I reached under the cable and pulled out a manila envelope. I tossed it on the centerpiece. It landed with a heavy thud. "Open the envelope, Leo." Leo, shaking, opened the envelope. He pulled out the photos. Photos of Robert's car at Chloe's house at 2 a.m. Photos of them kissing at a park. Photos of them holding hands at a coffee shop. And the transcripts. The PI had bugged Robert's car. Transcript. "Chloe, I hope it's a boy. He'll look like you, Rob. Robert, we'll tell Leo it's a preemie if it comes early. He's too stupid to do the math." Leo made a sound I will never forget. A wounded animal noise. He looked at Chloe. "You and my dad?" Chloe started crying, not fake tears this time, real terrified tears. "Leo, listen to me. She's crazy. She's manipulating this." "And there's one more thing," I interrupted. I stood up. "The house you live in, Chloe, the one Leo bought, I put the down payment on it, but the deed is in the name of a trust, my trust. I am evicting you, effective immediately." I turned to Robert. "And you? You think you're retiring on my money? I froze our joint accounts this morning. I spoke to my lawyers. The money you stole, the $50,000 you sent to her, that's embezzlement. I'm pressing charges unless you sign the divorce papers exactly as I drew them up. You get nothing. No alimony, no house, no pension." Robert stood up, knocking his chair over. "You can't do that. I built this life with you." "I built this life," I corrected him. "You just lived in it." The party ended in chaos. Leo threw up in the garden. Chloe was screaming. Robert tried to hit me, but my brother, who I had invited specifically for muscle, stepped in and threw him out the front door. That was 6 months ago. The divorce was finalized last week. Robert is living in a studio apartment across town. He works at a hardware store now. He looks 10 years older. Chloe tried to contact Leo, claiming she lost the baby due to stress. We don't know if she really lost it, or if there never was a baby, or if she got an abortion because the meal ticket was gone. Leo blocked her number. He moved back in with